A lot of you might expect me to be dogging on Christmas capitalism and charting all over the Christmas spirit and telling you to not buy this and not buy that, yada yada yada. But to be honest, that's not really me. I feel like that's just as annoying as someone going to Michael's and buying the whole store. Being on either side of the pendulum isn't going to make you like more noble in the situation. Especially, I've seen a lot of conversation talking about policing how people spend their money and we shouldn't be telling each other what to buy. And I just want to get this straight. I 100% agree. Babes, I am not telling you how to spend your money. I'm not telling you what you can do with your money. This is all my opinion and opening a conversation on how to purchase something and not feel guilty about it. I am 100% against buying something for the sake of chasing this feeling. If you're a hustler and a girl boss and you make your own bag and you got yourself out of your town, go ahead and buy that bag, especially if it's going to make you feel good. If you can afford it, if it's in your budget and you feel elated by buying something, by all means, I support that and I align that. Go enjoy that. But if you're buying something just for the sake of imitating other people, girl, save your money. Let's use it for something that you actually want to use it on. So today, I'm actually going to be talking about how I approach Christmas and the holiday season from a non-judgmental perspective, because this season's all about cheer and embracing family, the end of the year, looking back, looking forward. And I feel like, especially in the darker seasons, we can all use a little bit of encouragement and a dash of positivity. I think for a long time I had a difficulty getting excited about Christmas, and I think it's because I have a certain expectation attached to it. Everybody's family is different and it depends on like where you're from, culturally, XYZ. For my family, we have a very different Christmas tradition and celebration every single year because my family's a bit diasporatic, meaning we've moved a lot. Everyone lives in different places and has different things going on. And I feel like if you're around my age, like in your 20s, as you get older, you start to realize like everyone's off doing their own thing. So it can be quite chaotic gathering everyone for the same place at the same time during the holidays. So personally for me, I didn't grow up with these like anchored traditions in my family. So I think sometimes that can get me to resort to the traditions of consumerism and capitalism as an indicator of the holiday season because it's not necessarily like reflected in my family. And I say that with a grain of salt. I have an amazing family. We always do something like really interesting every year. Very, very blessed, but I mean in terms of like a regular rhythm of consistency. So I feel like for a lot of people, especially me that grew up in Southern California, any change in temperature is very jarring. So I grew up not really liking fall and winter, which I know is a form of privilege because anyone who lives like on the East Coast, or even last year was my very first cold Christmas because I was living in a different country and I actually like experienced the change of seasons. I used to hate the fall and winter seasons, honestly, up until maybe this year and last year. And what really helped me change my mind was my mom reminding me that the change of season is so normal and natural and necessary. We need the different seasons in our lives from a pure like human standpoint, you know, agriculturally, animal wise, body clock wise. Like the change of the seasons is actually like a very inaugural, beautiful thing because it is the most pure indication of time passing. It's a beautiful functioning system that nature needs to survive. And that is the original source of orientation for us. Like that is the first thing that humans were taught to orbit themselves around. Which is why I want to talk about this Christmas capitalism controversy, for lack of a better term, because now, rather than orienting ourselves around the season, we orient ourselves around what the industry tells us to. And we can say that that's based off of like nature and the seasons, but it's interesting how we honestly take everything really far and commercialize all of these things, which again, that's a part of life. We have to do that. Nobody's against like buying things and enjoying things. What's really helped me enjoy the season is remembering way back when what it's actually about. It's not about buying all these things. It's not about these like traditions that consumerism like infiltrates into my life. Like when I go back to the seasons changing in its purest form, that's where I find like true joy in accepting that it's like November, it's December. And I think that's what contributes to a lot of like this disdain for this time of the year, because December has turned into a month of deadlines, rushing, what we're gonna buy, looking forward to the new year. There's all of this like self-growth and self-reflection, and that's all awesome. It just comes at lightning speed, and as humans, we typically need metrics to measure anything and feel the sense of success and productivity, which is amazing. I'm all for self-growth. But I think when we remember that December and the winter months is actually intended for a period of slowing down, it honestly makes me a lot more grounded and kinder to myself about this season. Like I said before, the reason that I don't like this season is because I feel the sense of disappointment and expectation. But when we remember that even nature is slowing down, things aren't growing, animals are hibernating, it's interesting that as people, we have a hard time slowing down and giving ourselves that space. Like winter actually becomes this space of acceleratedness where we feel like the need to catch up on everything that we haven't been able to accumulate throughout the rest of the year. Meanwhile, like nature's slowing down. Fall was this time of harvest, which I think is beautiful. But winter also seems like this time of harvest. And then spring is also this time of harvest. And then summer is also this time of harvest. Like there's just this never ending cycle of wanting more and not being able to like presently sit and enjoy in the effort and abundance that's already like surrounding us. So yes, I think it's fine to lean into the Christmas capitalism. I mean, I do it, we all do it, and you know, it's just like a fun little inherent part of being a person and getting to like enjoy things and traditions. And to be honest, you do not need my permission like to enjoy your Christmas at all. And that's kind of the exact point that I'm making here, is that you don't need to look to anybody, not me, not her, not someone else, to like enjoy yourself and feel like you are making the most of like this time and season that you're in. Do you know what I mean? You should not base your enjoyment or your fulfillment on anybody else unless you truly resonate with that. And that's the hill I'm gonna die on today. Just to prove that I'm a normal person and that Christmas capitalism is okay to an extent, here are some bits of Christmas that I love. I love a peppermint, hot cocoa, anything. Like that is just like the best flavor to me. I love the Grinch and the whole franchise, the animated and the live action one. I love like a bundled up outfit with like a scarf, layered pants, like a hat, winter fashion. I do love getting a gift. What can I say? It's so fun like receiving something that someone thought about and then like picking out something for somebody else. I think it's really sweet. Christmas pajamas, Christmas parties, cookie decorating, ugly sweater, minute to win it games, a Christmas vacation. I love a Christmas vacation, like with the fam or with your friends or just like some December trip. So I wanted to go back and talk about what even is December and what is winter. Bear with me. Please bear with me. I'm gonna land. Winter used to be this dreaded season for me, which I know I'm like complaining because I literally live in Southern California, but if you've lived in California your whole life, like you get it. Any smidge of 60 degrees is like mind-boggling. And again, I had my first cold winter last year. That experience last year taught me that winter is so humbling, which is why I kind of enjoyed the Christmas season last year, because Christmas is a way to lighten up such like a dark time, or a time that is comparatively so different to the rest of the year, which I think is like really cute. Like Christmas obviously has a lot of like different meaning, the holidays, like whatever religion like you abide by. I think it's really sweet that we incorporated like something to make the season festive and enjoy, despite, you know, what can be a challenging time, especially if you are a Northern Hemisphere gal and you have a wintry Christmas, wintry December. If you've ever like experienced that, you understand. I think what also makes December hard is that the daylight is so limited. There's this like sense of limitation and time running out and just feeling like there isn't enough hours in the day to like do what you want to do, and that the evening comes a lot quicker, and it's just like so sad. And I used to like complain about it. Even this season I was like dreading daylight savings ending. You can either complain about it or you can choose to see the beauty in it. And by the beauty of it, I mean like what you can do in a limited daylight sense. Like you're caught having to like appreciate the hours that you actually have. And then I love that it calls for like an earlier night. Like you have this like excuse almost to like bundle up and like stay inside and go home early. Like everyone is forced to slow down almost, especially in a season, like I said, where we usually don't do that. The Christmas lights are on earlier. It's just like kind of more acceptable to have a little bit of this self-care, like cozy season. It begs you to slow down. You have to kind of just like subject yourself to Mother Nature in that moment. Jobs have to wrap up. They have to make their final sales. Although not everybody really does that. Like I said, we still use December as this very like competing with ourselves, or even like in a workplace, they need to take advantage of like the biggest consumer heavy time of the year. So I do feel kind of sad about that consumerism like maybe robs like a little teeny bit of that. And it's interesting, like even as I like share this concept, not everybody is going to be able to experience like Christmas the same way, because we have like essential workers, we have people doing these jobs that are going to require their time in December. And in a perfect world, everybody would be able to like enjoy December the same way. It's kind of like all those Christmas movies where like the dad's like rushing home and the mom's like baking all this stuff and the family just like wants to be together for like one special day. I think what's really helped me truly enjoy the Christmas spirit, other than orienting myself around buying stuff and consuming things and getting new stuff, doing a little bit of this like toxic self-reflection, self-growth, has been looking to the season, like the physical Mother Nature season, and imitating that version of life. I think allowing the natural cadence of the season to give us guidance is just like a very full circle moment, and kind of going back to the original meaning of life, which is like to be alive and appreciate every moment. Not every day can be summer, not every day can be spring. There is a season for every single aspect of our lives, and winter is that season of slowing down, being present. Even in nature, it's like almost this survival mode. Like you've stored up, you've harvested from the fall, and now you get to enjoy your provision, what you've built for yourself, and use that to conserve like the energy that you have and protect what you have. Like I think about like bears hibernating, you know, like they spend a lot of time preparing for that season, and then they actually get to like enjoy what they've prepared, and it's like a very minimal amount. It's just enough to keep them alive and like afloat. Okay, like I'm not a bear expert, I have like no idea how it works, but winter is about like focusing on the smallest like threshold, whereas humans, winter is like a bigger season for accumulation, overindulging in things that like we don't need. And I feel like maybe society has gotten better about this as we've become like more aware of like the impact of like social media and the environment or whatever, like in the last few years or so. I think for me, that's what I'm realizing this season is like I want to welcome December with like open arms because of the beauty of this season in particular, independent of what society and capitalism tell me like I need to be doing right now. So rather than pushing productivity, pushing for better expectations and like what I think I need, what are ways that like I can acknowledge what I have in this season right now? And maybe this isn't like woke or like anything new, but I just wanted to like chat about it because I think, especially after my last video, a lot of people were sharing like very vulnerably in the comments, and like I really appreciate that, especially if you shared something that we live in a world where we feel very scarce about what we have, and it's very easy to be judgmental and jealous when we get in that place in our minds. Like we start to covet what other people want, and I think that's a really dangerous place to be, to one, be jealous, be envious. Of course, like that's natural, like we're not perfect, but when you start to be envious of like something that somebody else has, it really means like a lack of gratitude in your own heart, in your own life. And that's not to dismiss that like anyone's had a hard life and like invalidate genuine difficulties. Like life is hard, it's not always going to like be what we want. I can guarantee, like I said in my last video, you have something that somebody else would love to have. And I think the quicker you realize your life is so meaningful because of who you are, not what you have, not what you do, not how like easily you abide to society, you start to like generate fulfillment from like a much deeper place. And that is something I want to share because it's something I'm striving towards and a relief that I think will be more sustainable than continuing to like patch that hole with trying to like align ourselves with society. This could be a great conversation, but I don't want it to end here. So what's helpful for me is like incorporating actionable steps, naming 3 things that this season is asking you to steward. And steward basically means like things that are already in your possession that you need to take care of well. What do you have already that you can do a better job of like keeping and preserving and nurturing? For me, that's being grateful for where I live, my living situation, using my time like in the car or to myself to listen to an audiobook because I've wanted to grow in reading more and just like reading leisurely. And number 3, dedicating more time for phone calls with my friends, especially my long distance friends. So there you have it. If you enjoyed any aspect of this video, feel free to leave a comment and share below. Let me know if you're like enjoying this podcast format. Today I'm in the car because I'm having some home construction to-dos. So the next few videos will be in random locations if you're like a continuous like subscriber, which brings me to that point. If you're not subscribed already, feel free to subscribe as I'm gonna do like more videos chatting like this. I definitely want to share like a little bit more of my life and what's on my mind. I also just made a brand new Instagram and TikTok, so feel free to check that out down below. It's linked there, and follow me there because I'm going to kind of do like more relevant content to this. But yes, I also have 2 Notion templates that I've made, also linked down below. One is free, one is paid, just for you to have a little trial of what my vibe is. I'm also thinking of like starting maybe a Discord so we can have more intentional conversations like this and start building a community. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're interested in, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.